We are here with Tony Hobson, head women's basketball coach at Fort Hays State University for MIAA Virtual Media Day. The team is coming off another strong campaign last season, eclipsing 20 wins for a school record 6th straight season. What are your initial expectations moving into this season?
Well, I think they'll be a lot like they have in the past. We've got a good mixture of returners and new kids. So I think early on we might struggle to maybe find our identity a little bit, but I expect to have a good strong year again this year. A lot of that depends on how strong everybody else is, and it looks like it'll be tough again. So we're going to have to play well, but I think we can compete.
You are returning many experienced players this season, yet there is only one senior on this year's squad. How will that in-game experience help your talented group of sophomores and juniors?
Well, we did lose a good senior class. I mean, we lost 4 seniors, 2 of them all conference, 3 starters. But we have 2 returners that made all conference honorable mention. We have one senior that started most of the season, and then we did have a couple freshmen that played considerable minutes. So, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a lot of leadership out of our 1 senior and our 2 juniors. Our sophomores that were freshmen last year, I think they're probably a little beyond their years as far as being ready to play and leadership abilities and things like that. So the one thing that really hurt us in the sophomore class was we lost Madison Mitty to a knee last spring. So whether she plays or not, we'll probably see as we go along whether we want to redshirt her or whether she'll be ready to play this season. But Casey Kennett in that sophomore class was a part-time starter last year. Taylor Rolfe saw considerable time, so we'll count on them. But really, Carly Heim, Tatiana Leggett, and Emma Stroyan, those 3 are going to kind of be our leaders to begin the year, and they'll have to show the way to some of the first-year kids.
You brought in an impressive recruiting class this year, including 3 freshmen and 1 transfer. Tell me a little bit about what you see from this group.
Well, we've had a few practices. They're struggling just like all new kids do when they get into a new place and they're doing things a different way. But we did add a few good athletes. I think we had a nice variety. We brought in a transfer point guard, and we just call her G because I don't know how to pronounce it. So G's a quick little left-handed point guard from Turkey. Played junior college ball in the States. She gives us a little giddy up in the full court. She's very quick. Our other freshmen, our 3 freshmen, we signed a 6'2", 4 or 5 man from New Jersey, Kayla Bush, who is very talented and runs the floor well. And then we have two other freshmen, one from Oklahoma, Whitney Randall, who's a strong 5'10" guard, who I think will see time right away, very explosive, and then Whitney Clampett from Missouri, who is a very athletic little slasher. So I expect them to make an impact someday, whether it's this year, whether it's right away, I don't know, but good solid kids that are going to be an asset to our program.
Taking a look at your schedule, one thing jumps out right at the top. What can a game like this against UConn do for your program moving forward?
Well, if nothing else, it gives us a lot of attention. That's all people want to talk about around here is our trip and how it happened and how we arranged it and all those things. So it has generated a lot of interest in our program. I think for one thing, it's just something that you can use, and your kids are going to have a lifetime experience doing it. As far as the game goes, we're playing the best the biggest, best dynasty the NCAA has ever seen. Women, men, or anything in between. So it'll be interesting just to see up close and personal how they do things and how good they actually are, and I you know they are. It's just a matter of going and trying to get what you can out of the game. But as far as the experience goes, it's going to be unmatched, and it'll be something that our group will always remember.
The MIAA was as tough as ever last season, with 4 teams advancing to the NCAA tournament. What's it like facing that type of competition night in and night out?
Well, it doesn't let you relax, and any other conference I've ever coached in, and I've coached in 3 or 4 other ones, there was always, if you had this many teams, there was always 2 or 3 teams where you could just basically pencil in a win if you were any good at all. This conference isn't like that, and every year you see the teams near the bottom are still very competitive, and usually the reason they're down there is they've lost a lot of close games, or maybe had somebody hurt for a few games. You always see the bottom tier teams beat the top teams every year. There's a lot of surprises, so it'll be no different this year. But what it's like is, I think it's really exciting for the fans. I think players like to be in competitive games. I think coaches wish that it wasn't so tough sometimes, but that's just us. It's always nice to look ahead and see, okay, we got a couple games we're going to win, and you can't do that once we get into conference. I mean, it's a preparation battle every week, and you have to be prepared or you'll get beat.
Any additional thoughts as we head into the new year?
Well, I just think we've got some new players in the league, really, after last year. I think, not that Central Missouri's new, but I think they had a great year last year. They got everybody back, basically, and some good additions. So they're going to be a good team. Central Oklahoma kind of bounced up there last year. They got a good nucleus back. Lindenwood's an up-and-coming team, and then the thing is that the ones that have been up there, they really haven't lost anything either. So it's not like there's a new 2 or 3 good teams. Now we're going to have 6 or 7, I think, that are going to be battling for the title, instead of how it was with Pitt and Emporia and us the past couple years, and now we're going to have a real battle, I think.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck this season.
You're welcome.